Welcome back, everyone, to the Rally Cry halftime show. I'm Azal, joined by Desrex and Joshi yet again, and we had a heckin' game number one, if you will. I honestly thought it was going to go the way of Tony. And, DFT, Team Fish Taco, they come out big clutch. And I think the biggest thing for me is the way that it was approached, because you could see it starting to slide down the hill, Joshi. I know you already talked about it in the cast, but I definitely want to rekindle some of those thoughts and the way that Team Fish Taco closed out the first game of the series, at least.
Yeah, I mean, it was really back and forth, but we saw that Team Fish Taco felt like they had an idea of what worked for them. That was go to the Baron and bait fights around there. And ultimately, it felt as though Team Tony Top were too slow. And it's one of those things where it's like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, well, gets you game one. And I mean, that's the kind of thing where we do see Team Fish Taco. They just went back to the same game pattern 3 separate times over the course of the game, and they won the one that really mattered. They got it at the very end, and because Tony Top had one or two really good cannon ultimates, they needed to find another one towards the very end. It doesn't look as though it's been the strength so far for Team Tony Top this series.
This game felt like it was all decided on one simple button, an R, on one simple player, Alorum. A lot of those ultimates, man, it felt like...
I give some to Tony Top, too. The R was important, too.
It felt like a lot of these fights should have been decided by Alorum's ultimate actually hitting. But Tony Top, their team were able to dodge out on a lot of those, and that's what gave these opportunities for the carries of Team Tony Top to start scaling and coming online. And we saw what could happen, right? They focused down Tony Top, but it's like, no, Levitate and Sudsy have already gotten income. They're doing the damage. Just as Josh said, they went back to the playbook of bait them towards that Baron, and that's where Team Fish Taco wins out best.
All I'm saying, Desrex, the mountain looking really good right now. The mountain's looking real tough for Tony Top. He's going to need to find some hikers, some climbing equipment. I don't know. Mountain's looking real scary right now.
Halfway up the mountain before falling down, at least this time.
At least he made it a little bit far up.
Yeah, maybe it's a base camp.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. A little bit of rest and reprieve. Maybe a little bit of cold, too.
Got the highest flag.
But we are going to get to our halftime show here, as I do have a little bit of fun. We obviously had talked in the beginning of this day about how many collegiate players we have in this series itself, but also in our developmental season as well. And I think one of the funnest things that I remember, also one of the most terrifying from college, is the college orientations and the icebreakers that you used to have to do. Now, we are remote, so I won't be able to pass the volleyball around with questions on it. I won't be able to make you guys do charades, things like that. But we do have some very interesting players. And
I had very different memories of how much fun we had at these icebreakers.
Yeah,
I had a lot of fun. But, I was my team captain, so I was one of those people. But I want to introduce some of these players, right? So I'll be our camp counselor, if you will, our orientation specialist. And I've got a group of collegiate players here with me. And I'm going to go ahead and ask each one a little bit about themselves, tell me a little bit, and break some of this ice that we got going on here with these collegiate players. So first and foremost, we have a spattering of different universities, but I think Wallflower, I want to go to you first, over there from Maryville University. How are you doing, Wallflower? You got a little bit of ice to break here?
Is that one me or is that Eric?
It is you.
It is you,
I thought you wrote it down, Joshi.
I did write it down, but I couldn't find my notes.
This is going great.
Going
great.
Hi, everyone. Wallflower here. I'm playing here from Maryville University.
Hi, Wallflower.
Hi. Yeah, thanks. I actually used to play in the LCS. You might have known me at the time as Iconic. I was playing with a fellow Maryville University player, Niles, at the time. And I've mostly been well known for my Lee Sin play over the past several years. It's been interesting here at the Maryville University for a long time because we've been experimenting with this 10-man roster, so that means that at different times I'll be playing on the main roster and going back and forth between the two of them. But recently, decided to strike out on my own and actually join a bit of a different organization for now in order to make sure that I still have what it takes to try and find my way to actually go pro. And that's why I found my way over to Team Tony Top, where we are playing with my Lord and Savior in the top lane. And it has been a fantastic time. I've actually won several collegiate championships as well. If you don't know who I am, I've been around for a long time. looking forward to getting to meet all of you guys.
I didn't know that we had royalty in here in the collegiate icebreaker space, but no, actually, really good stuff there, Joshi. A nice little explanation from Wallflower's perspective, at least. But now we got to move on to Tesseract, who I don't know how you're going to top that one. But we have a continued collegiate icebreaker here, because next up, we have a little bit of Harvard representation. Red, how are you doing? You doing okay, Red? Tell us a little bit about yourself, Red.
Why, hello there. Take a seat right here. Take a seat right here. My name is Red. I am currently working on a PhD. I'm through the whole program, in Harvard, and it's nothing big, It's just,
what is it?
It's in biology, but the kind of the micro.
Smaller than that.
Yeah, it's molecular. It's not nano, by the way. There's all different types of biologies, and I don't.
Good thing we're getting ready for college.
Yeah. So while I'm working on my dissertation, I'm also working on one in kicking butt, and I've decided to join this squad because no other squad kicks more butt than Team Fish Taco. I've actually taken the time to write down my equations, calculate this all down, and in the formula, it said Team Fish Taco is the first team to qualify. So far, my formula has been correct. I've had to give or take a few variables here and there, a few decimals, but for the most part, I'm doing pretty well. I came out of University of Massachusetts, and that's about it. I don't remember anything about there. I kind of just throw that into my past because my future is Team Fish Taco.
That's all you need. What I love here is that I don't think I would have ever heard any college kid talk this long in an icebreaker. I think I probably said the most of like one sentence in the entire day that I was doing the icebreaker. But we have the explanations here. Right? We have the explanation.
See, this is. I think it sounds like most of the other people in your icebreakers are a little bit more used to our experience. Like, hey, I'm Josh.
Yeah. Hi.
I play League of Legends.
I'm going to do one more intro for each of you, all right? So we got a couple more players here. And we got a classic in Robbie Bob.
Let's go, Robbie.
From the University of St. Thomas.
Me.
Robbie Bob, how you doing? It's been a long time. I haven't gotten to see you in a long time. You doing okay? You look different.
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm a big fan of ranch on literally all of my food.
Okay, perfect.
That one's an actual fact. Really like steak, and I have been known to dabble with ranch on the steak as well. They just go really well together.
I gotta contact somebody here.
That said, I've been playing for a number of universities recently. Most notably, you guys might know me from my time at the University of St. Thomas, where I was also a collegiate champion. Sorry there, Wallflower, you're not special. But also, recently we have been playing here for the University of St. Trevor. They are, in fact, different schools as well. And I also had more recent experience in the professional scene, having played on Evil Genius's Challengers, where I had some of the best Galio play in the entire league.
Oh, man. Robbie Bob coming out with all the stuff.
Hi,
and
Robbie.
Also the improvement. I love you, Robbie. It's nice to see you on our desk, It's really good. No, in our icebreaker, I mean.
He does eat ranch on everything, though.
It rants on everything. Yeah. Everything. All right. We got our last player here. We only have 4 players in our icebreaker. Not a big class this year. But let's go ahead and pass it on over to Daption, my man.
Hey,
Daption, how you doing? Another UST brother.
It's me, Daption.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
You might have heard of me. I've been on a bunch of teams. Zenith Esports.
Oh, God.
I was on that. And, Wildcard, that was me. I was on that as well. Evil Genius Prodigies, yeah, I played on that as well. York University, Taco Gaming, AOE. Yeah, Josh, you were talking about St. Trevor. That's not a university. That was a team where we named ourselves after Trevor. Good old, the real one you should be worshipping right now. My religion has always been Trevor. We saw what he did over with the Cincinnati Fears. All of them. It's good stuff. But at the end of the day, you know what I like to do? I like to come home and I like to have some fish tacos. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go on my app of choice and I'm going to order some fish tacos. And you know what I'm going to do after that? I'm going to play on Team Fish Taco and get Team Fish Taco into the, the NACLs. We'll get in there.
Why is he a trucker? Why?
You gave me this assignment. I'm just doing my
homework. What I want to do at this point is I want to send these clips to all the players. So how are their accents? How do they
I'm just saying, Robbie would be like, ranch, Facts.
Oh my god, that was the greatest Daption impression I've ever heard. That was incredible. Well, that was our collegiate icebreaker. Go harkening back to all of our collegiate players that are representing here in our developmental scene. What a way it was. We haven't actually got a chance to talk about the next game, but we don't got time for that because we're going to be getting right into picks and bans. Gentlemen, so go ahead and take it away.
What's up? It's me, Deserix. Just getting the drip. All right.
Oh,
wow.
Icebreakers were
I'm
not
amazed that
my
you were able
thing,
to pull
Josh.
that off.
Icebreakers, which is not my thing. I don't know how Mazel did any of that team captain stuff, but I was a shy boy in the corner just trying to say like 2-word answers and let things pass.
As soon as we could get past it, yeah. I remember not being the most popular guy on my own icebreakers because I was very awkward transitioning from high school to college, and I feel like I really built a lot of confidence after the icebreakers had ended, and so we will see exactly how all of our players do as they start to go through this as well. The big thing that I kind of want to see is a bit more confidence coming up from Wallflower in particular. They were super pivotal to the way that Team Tony Top actually got here in the first place, and now I felt like they were just also there in that last game, which is not what we're used to seeing from somebody who has had so much experience, who has been one of our most aggressive collegiate junglers in the past. I would love to see them try and build up some more advantages for themselves, and especially for their lanes, because we saw that Tony Top built theirs basically entirely by themselves. And then Levitate and Snow 2 kind of just struggled going up against Red and Daption. It didn't feel as though Wallflower had picked anywhere on the map to really help get them ahead.
You know, and to be fair to that, a lot of that was Taco putting pressure down into that bottom lane and really destroying Levitate and Snow, to put it lightly for that regard. The bans coming out now, we are going to see a different change in junglers. Both Wukong and Vi were taken away, so not going to allow Dardoch to have that point and click, which means Maokai left right open, and that's going to be the first pick for Team Tony Top.
Yeah. I mean, we saw that this was banned away from this team, or by this team last time around, and we saw that Team Fish Taco in this very similar position went for the Thresh and Aphalos. I would expect something very similar to come out here. Red did a pretty good job on the Aphalos, having a lot of gold, but was mostly just being very reactive to a lot of what we were seeing from Alorum and Dardoch and Daption actually trying to make some of these opportunities come to fruition. The other thing I would actually love to see coming through from Team Fish Taco is if they can get Robbie onto something that they're a bit more comfortable on, especially in some of these control mage matchups, you can then use your bans afterwards in order to try and protect it.
Ooh, we are going to have a new take from Levitate this time, as he is going to lock in the Jinx. Had the option to go for the Zarya right now, will instead go for the getting excited. You want to get that hyper scaling going, and good protection alongside with that Maokai. Let's see what their next pick paired alongside this will be for Team Tony Top.
Yeah, it was oftentimes been the Thresh, but it's the Lulu. A lot of things that were banned last game now coming through, and it is going to be a very fast lock-in by Dardoch here for this Jarvan, making sure that they can lock down Levitate and Snow 2 exactly in the middle of that fight. And they also have the Lantern to get at least one person out of the Cataclysm all on their own, and so Team Fish Taco, I mean, they have a very clear game plan already coming through. Now they need to find a couple more champions to actually help out with some of the dive that Dardoch is going to be going for.
A nice little combo to have both that Jinx and Lulu locked in. I want to see what the mid lane pick is going to be right here, if they want to ban away the Azir that was locked in before. It's kind of a combination that
like it's still a Gwen.
Likes to go for. Yeah, Gwen's still available on top of that as well.
And when we saw
a TFT.
We did see that the Kennen was able to beat up Alorum fairly heavily, but it's not as though we're running low on the number of champions for Tony to kind of have a lot of success with. And with this next part coming through as well, it's actually going to be an Ahri ban targeted at Sudsy. It's not. I was a little bit surprised to see it coming through for Robbie Bob. It's not something that they have been the most comfortable on in the past. It very clearly looks like Robbie is saying, you know, I don't think that was the champion for me last time around. And also, let's get Alarm off the Malphite, right? We were saying that he's so good at these one-button champions. That's probably the easiest one-button champion for him to have a huge impact on.
Even when Tony Top had such a strong lead, the very first fight that came out from Team Fish Taco, Alorum landed that unstoppable force on Tony Top and stopped him from being a factor. So Tony, not going to allow that to be a thing again, as they will take away that Malphite. But another tank still on the board, and this one is going to be Ornn over to Alorum.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of engage already coming through from Team Fish Taco. They really need something that's high damage in the mid lane, and I wonder if this is going to be one of those Viger opportunities that we did see banned away by Team Tony Top last time around. But I'm kind of expecting Sudsy to go right on back towards the Azir. It did relatively well last game, and it stayed alive basically the entire game as well, and so Sudsy will be locking that one in. And now we just need to see what it is that Tony wants to play up in the top lane. It's not going to be that. It's not going to be that.
It's not going to be a soda. It's not going to be a soda. Or...
Nah. I mean, there's still plenty of things available, right? The Gwen is still pretty okay into the Orin as well. Fiora makes a lot of sense. There's still a lot of things. Even the Camille does all right in these kind of situations, but it is going to be a Fiora, which does signify that Tony is not going to be playing with the rest of the team nearly as much. It is going to be way more focused on trying to get the side lanes ahead. You need to be a very self-sufficient 4-man unit here for the rest of the team.
It's going to be a lot of side lane pressure, and it's going to be a lot that Alorum will have to absorb. But if he can, and you get towards that team fight stage, this is where I'm going to be watching Team Fish Taco big time, because you have the J4 to really get onto that backline alongside the Orin, and now you're taking away some very, very high value ultimates with the Silas lock-in on Robbie Bob.
Yeah, I mean, the ultimate coming through from Wallflower's Maokai and, of course, the Emperor's Defy, those are both really big opportunities for the rest of Team Fish Taco to kind of just have an extra huge ultimate to play with. And so, I mean, we saw last game that Tony Top up in the top side will have such a strong position as well to actually try and take over the top side of the map and really control some of the side lanes. But that kind of needs to happen this game, right? It was a bonus that Team Tony Top had last game. It's something that they will need to have a lot of pressure this time around.
Now, again, I want to see where Wallflower is going to be in this early stage, because you were talking about testing that confidence of Wallflower. Again, with these scalers, that means Wallflower has to have that early to mid-game impact for Team Tony Top to try and come online right now. But now that the draft is done, we are ready to head on to the Rift. It's going to be Team Tony Top versus Team Fish Taco. A reminder to all our viewers right here, we are going to have a new team in the NACL. This series right here is going to decide it. Team Fish Taco already got their win earlier. Same thing with Team Tony Top. Both of those teams were able to send FlyFam and Team Liquid First into the lower bracket. And the reward is just one more series victory, one more dub to pick up to get into NACL. A very, very high value this is. All things being said, though, of course, this is not the end of the road. If you do take a loss right here, you fall into that lower bracket and you will have another chance.
Once you're down to that lower bracket, you do have to play so many more series to get into the actual Challengers League as well. And so, don't want to be there. You just want to get it over with today. Make sure that you can find your way in. And I kind of want to reiterate as well, Eric, we're going to have a new team. We're guaranteed a new team at this point. Yeah. One of these teams are actually going to find their way into the Challengers League. And it's definitely an exciting opportunity. Some of our players have been there before. Tony Top. Iconic back with
together,
Wallflower.
Actually. They were in Golden Guardians together.
True. And then Alorum has done Dardoch has played in the academy system in the past, but for a lot of these other players, it feels as though this might be their first time to be a mainline player in any of these opportunities. And Tony Top, cheeky.
The catch Alorum, get some early damage right there on the harassment, and yeah, that's going to be pretty nice for him over in this Fiora matchup.
Yeah, wow. This is really good.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he's denied a ton of experience from Alorum and already taken him down super, super low. Oh, that's a really good start. Even though it costs you 3 minions of gold, it costs you 60 gold, it costs your opponent way more than that. That's going to mean that you will have this massive experience lead for basically the next 5 minutes at the very least.
And Tony Top in some of these lane matchups has been pretty on point, really returning to form. The Lunacia one, it was a lot of these small little micro decisions that Tony Top was able to punish time and time again, and now still finding it against Alorum.
Yeah, great stuff. I mean, the question has never been about will Tony Top have a decent lane against Alorum. It feels like a lot of people are saying, yeah, that's not going to be the issue. The question will be, can Tony Top have more impact later in the game than Alorum? And already we are seeing yet another big breakpoint coming through from Tony Top, trying to deny as much EXP as possible and slow down Alorum's ability to actually take control of some of this lane. And so far, I mean, again, we were looking at a 2-3 wave lead for most of the laning phase for Tony Top over Alorum that never disappeared over the course of the game. This is already getting closer to a 2-wave lead right at the beginning of the game. And Dardoch trying to make it up on the other side of the map.
Dardoch looking for Levitate and Snow, walks over a ward. We'll get spotted out. See if they try and at least get the flash burnt out right here. Chompers goes out, will not get the flag and Treg. That sentence does land, but it's not enough to get the flash out of Levitate. In fact, it's going to get punished outright. Dardoch taking a little bit more damage on the walkout.
Yeah, he's got jungle privilege. He's going to walk back into the jungle and be full health in like 20 seconds. So, you know, it doesn't actually cost Team Fish Taco all that much on that, especially since they will be able to go right on back, pick up another Scuttle Crab. And again, the big question will be, will Red and Daption have the same kind of opportunity to punish this bottom side like they did in the last game, right? A couple of kills, the first turret, or at least a ton of plates getting picked up at the same time. Whereas on the other side of the map, as though Wallflower, it's a bit more okay for them on the Maokai to just kind of sit back and farm it out and force Dardoch to make these big plays.
We'll see if they want to farm it out, if they want to make a play into this bottom lane. There was a lot of pings coming out from Team Tony Top, focus down here. Ooh, control ward goes down, and they know that there's no ward over there. Should expect a ward to be over in that river bush. Team Tony Top, they might be able to bait this out if Daption takes the play for a death sentence. Just holding out for the time being. Finally, Wallflower in a show. Gets caught by the death sentence and the flay. Wallflower getting closer, can lock onto Daption. The flash comes out, but this is crowd control locking down Daption, in first blood belongs to Team Tony Top.
And great stuff coming through from Wallflower. We're asking for some early game activity before the game even started, and that is exactly what we're seeing. Coming down towards the bottom side of the map, and I love the fact trading flash for flash relatively early prevents Daption from getting underneath the turret. Great stuff coming through from Wallflower. Tony Top, is that the first plate going down? Looks like it was. It's going to be an extra 175 gold already being picked up, and it feels as though Tony Top and the rest of the crew are winning across the map this time.
That is a very accelerated Fiora just from staying in lane, not even with kills to that extent. Now look at this, Team Fish Taco going for the play into the bottom lane again.
Uh-oh, he's shopping.
Out the recall, caught him shopping. Wallflower will get plucked.
Yeah, I mean, can't get caught window shopping there. Thought that they were in a safe position, but now they know better. Both Robbie Bob and Dardoch are still here.
Taking the ultimate away from Snow, but this will force out the teleport from Sudsy. Enough picked up for Team Fish Taco.
Yeah, we'll pick up that kill onto Wallflower. Giving it over here to Robbie Bob will help out a fair amount. They will be able to go back into the mid lane where there's a large wave to grab, and Sudsy might miss a couple of minions. But again, looking towards the top side, we did this before. It doesn't normally matter in most games because the laning phase just kind of goes even. Both people know how effective that the tanks will be later on, but this is one of those spots where Tony Top is winning so heavily. And this is a matchup where at lower levels, Fiora is supposed to dominate, but the better you get at Ornn, the better this matchup actually becomes for this tank.
And as long as Alorum doesn't go down, I mean, he's already got his Bramble Vest, you know, he'll have his, essentially still plated a little bit after that. That's going to be a lot of AD he can absorb coming out from Tony Top, even with that lead coming through. So Alorum gonna weather a lot of this storm, and Team Fish Taco awarded with the first Drake of the game with the bot lane play.
Yeah. Alorum's got to be careful. Ah, look at all those vitals coming through. Yeah. This is, again, a spot where Tony Top and the rest of the team were kind of relying upon this side of the map to be going well for them in order to actually find a lot of their victories, right? Both of these guys, both Alorum and Tony Top, again, beat up some of the better laning top laners that we had in their previous matches to actually get here. Lunacia, a huge surprise.
Ooh, a nice death sentence finds the lockdown onto Levitate. Will be able to flash away as Red can't get enough damage, but the summoners have been burnt.
Yeah. Good stuff coming through. I mean, Daption's been on point with these hooks, and Dardoch
ultimate coming out from Tony Top. Will be able to get the parry on the flag and drag to escape.
Yeah. Will cost Tony Top the ultimate, but they will be able to go ahead and go for a back. Still 18 CS up, 3 waves. coming through already, and Sudsy taking control of the mid lane as well. This laning phase has been going quite well for Team Tony Top. And as this game goes later, it's worth noting that a lot of people think of Jinx as like this really heavy scaling character, and Jinx is good late game, yes, but Jinx is the best character in the game around 2 items when you get that first reset. Here comes the play from Wallflower.
Oh, Wallflower long range ultimate, gonna absorb it, will be Daption to try and protect Red. Red does have flash, the Twisted Advance off the ground, burns the flash away, and Daption's picked off.
Nice. I really love the respect coming through from Red to make sure that the root doesn't come through there at all, but still an extra flash getting picked up. Great play coming through from Wallflower to use that over the wall and trying to hide it in the terrain. Makes it so hard for Team Fish Taco to actually react to that one, and that's going to be more gold going over to Team Tony Top, and Sudsy at the same time. And he's done a fantastic job here in this mid lane, going to grab another plate for themselves as well.
Now Tony still brutalizing Alorum over onto this top side. That's going to be the story for quite some time as more armor does get stacked in by Alorum to try and slowly change that. Taking a look at the mid lane, Robbie Bob does have the Azir ultimate now locked in, but more members of Tony Top are kind of hovering into this direction. For Robbie, would be pretty nice to get back in. You know, we saw him on EGC. We're familiar with him over there. Mostly played towards Shaden. It was a lot of utility with like the Galio and Lissandra. It's great to see this version of Robbie Bob that does play a little bit more of a multitude of positions for Team Fish Taco.
Yeah. We'll see how well that can come to fruition over the course of the series. So far, I mean, I kind of am putting a lot more of my eyes towards Levitate here, right? It is a character where on 2 items, they're going to be incredibly difficult to actually deal with. And on top of that, they also will have a ton of tools by which you can try and find some of these initial resets, right? The way that Wallflower and Sudsy can lock down a single target, burst them out, will allow Levitate to kind of be really aggressive in a bunch of these upcoming fights. But Dardoch trying to stifle the threat up here in the top side, try and prevent Tony Top from being an insane sideline threat, is coming up here again.
Tony Top wants to get more harassment on Alorum, but doesn't realize that here comes Dardoch. Oh, the Forge God goes out. It's sent over to the side. Trying to do more work will be Dardoch and Alorum, but look at Tony Top go. Able to get the Grand Challenge right off, but it's not enough to stop Dardoch. That'll be kill over in the top side.
Yeah, I really like the fact that Alorum throws his ult out to the wrong side intentionally to make sure that he doesn't stun up Dardoch at the same time. Tony Top got all 4 vitals, but it was not enough, and instead the rest of his team going to be finding a couple of plates down here at the bottom side of the map, continuing to accelerate Levitate ahead, and also allowing them to get all this gold down and potentially look for it back before the dragon spawns.
Daption just trying to chase them away for the time being, but again, as you said, gold going over to Levitate and Snow. Should have a juicy back 30 seconds before that dragon does come down. I do want to see what they are going to purchase. I mean, for Tony Top, this does work better into their favor. You're getting your carries going, getting this Jinx running, but she's also caught out by a death sentence from Daption. Able to make some distance. The box goes out. Red getting closer with the Lantern, cuts off the escape route, and one more auto is able to seal the deal. But Red will not survive as Snow will be able to pluck away with the little machine gun autos and take down Red.
Ends up being a 1-for-1, but the gold way better allocated here for Team Fish Taco. And right before this dragon fight as well, leaves Dardoch the only one standing around it. They're going to be starting it up all by themselves. And Wallflower doesn't seem to know or doesn't seem to be able to do anything about it. They know now.
Going to place the plant over there, Sapling. Sudsy has his ultimate taken away by Robbie Bob, so Robbie Bob has a way to force disengages out of Team Tony Top if Wallflower wants to go for this, and Wallflower does. He's going to look for a steal right now, but can't get it from Dardoch. Will secure the Drake over in the name of Team Fish Taco, but Team Fish Taco want more. They're going for the fight in the pit, but they don't realize who's right over that wall. A Cataclysm to get right back into the pit and lock down Wallflower, who escapes barely, but no, a flag to plant in the name of Dardoch.
Yo, the swag flag from Dardoch. He got 2 smite kills last game and a flag kill this one. Man, this guy is going for all the fun kills, but this looked really tough, but there's no Super Mega Death Rocket. It was used in the last fight. That would have been a huge change in the ability for either side of these fights to actually go for it. But both Sudsy and Wallflower needing to leave and then getting impaled on the backside. Great stuff from Dardoch.
And great patience as well. He got caught by that Emperor's Divide, saved his Cataclysm, didn't use it to jump into the fight, so he was able to get back in without burning his flash. He gets to keep that Summoner spell, which is a great pick tool for a Jarvan.
Yeah, wow. 4 plates already picked up for Tony. He's finally got some AD left to actually start punching through all of the HP that Alarm has whenever they start hitting these vitals. And it will get worse and worse as the game actually goes on, but Team Fish Taco, they're fighting back. They have 2 dragons. Robbie?
Focusing on the Robbie bot, but they should see the Rift Herald now coming down. Gonna block the ultimate for his teammate, but take a lot of damage in the process. Wallflower will return some right underneath the tower. Looking to cash in on those plates. Robbie and Dardoch will be able to.
Yeah. Get 1 plate, but they only get the 1 there.
Ooh, nice from Daption. Forces the ultimate out of Snow. Still return fire as red is a little bit too low, but you can see how much pressure Team Tony top spot lane is applying.
Yeah, they definitely feel way more confident playing on this Jinx Lulu than they were on everything last game. So this is going to be a huge opportunity for them to really take control. They already got the first turret up in the top side, giving that one over to Tony Top. It looks like they had to blow the Ghost for it, but at the same time, Levitate and Snow also going to be picking up this bottom lane structure as well. A lot more money already coming through, and this is a gold lead for Tony Top at the 14-minute mark as well. This should be another item completion coming through for Levitate.
That's going to be the Kraken Slayer locked down and dialed in. Going to be really good, especially when you need to get that damage over onto Alorum. And Mythic now done. It's still going to be matched over by Red, who does have his Mythic as well, just Levitate having some components on top of that. So Red is behind, but not too far behind just yet. Sudsy looking to change that situation, but a beautiful lantern from Daption. Give him that thumbs up.
Yeah, nice try coming through from Sudsy, but good awareness from Daption. Make sure that that could not actually happen. As soon as the soldier shows up, you know what you need to do, and now Alorum.
Alorum's here, waiting for the call of the Forge God. Jumping forward with the Gale Force. What a ballsy play from Red. It pays dividends to Team Fish Taco.
And the ultimate just sails on by from Wallflower, not able to do a thing. They pick up a kill, and it's not going to be matched by much of anything on the side lane, right? Tony will get more CS lead up in the top side, but it's not as though he's going to get this entire turret right here all by himself, and Alorum comes through.
Alorum just trying to chase away this pesky Tony top. I'm taking all my structures. Oh, is it? It was 2 very early in game number 1, and I mean, pre-20 minutes, it's already at half health on this tier 2.
Yeah, I mean, great stuff. We did see that last time it was with the Rift Herald that they got 2 turrets up here up in the top side of the map.
Tony is a Rift Herald. Oh, Tony's more than a Rift Herald. He's going for the kill. Flash going to get burnt out from Alorum as very, very aggressive dive coming out from Tony Top, who just holds absolute control of this top lane.
Yeah. Tony Top doing a fantastic job over in these side lanes, right? We're getting to see a little bit more of why they were having so much success in their previous matchup against one of our better top laners before. As they get another structure for themselves, we'll be able to back away with effectively 2 kills to their name.
35 seconds before the Drake comes up, and it's Team Fish Taco, the first foot onto the river on that dragon side. Clearing out wards for the time being. Still have 1 left over for Team Tony Top over spotting out in that river ramp. Trying to get position into it, but it's going to be very dangerous fighting into this Fog of War. Luckily, they do have a pretty good ward over there where Daption is, so not going to get surprised by any death sentences.
Yeah. It's also worth noting that this is another really good role for Team Fish Taco if they are able to start chaining up any of these upcoming dragons, but Dardoch needs to be careful, so does Robbie.
3v2 for a little while, 2 more members looking to come over. It's Robbie Bob. We'll take the Emperor's Divide, trying to buy time for this teleport to channel through. It's going to be found. Alorum has joined the fight, carrying away. It's going to be the Ornhorn landing onto 3, but caught out by Sudsy. Robbie Bob can survive no longer. And with 1 more member locked in with the 5 of Tony Top, they'll take 2 for absolutely nothing.
Yeah, unlucky timing there for Robbie. As soon as they go for the flash, instantly pushed on back into the rest of the melee. That's going to be Team Tony Top picking up a dragon. And this is what we said, it's a high roll for Team Fish Taco if they continue stacking because they're close to the soul. It's a huge high roll for Team Tony Top if they are able to snag all of these. And getting this fight going before anything else happens, you see that it's a very confused fight here for Team Fish Tacos. Nobody knows exactly who they're actually going to be targeting. They teleport Alorum in, but it's just more lambs to the slaughter as Tony Top picks up another turret down here on the bottom side of the map. It's effectively 4 kills, or at least like 5 or 6 that he's gotten off of turrets and plates alone.
And that was just a great play from Team Tony Top as a whole, because it was a false sense of security set up by Dardoch being in that river bush for Robbie Bob, sending all 5 players. They weren't expecting it, and now looking to take this gold lead to 3.2k at 18 minutes. You know, a lot of that coming from the top side, Tony Top, who was able to take 2 towers already pre-20 minutes. How do you get more structures? You grab Rift Herald. Team Fish Taco want to contend.
Yeah, both teams are here, but Tony Top themselves on the far side of the map. Alorum does have to commit to actually being here with no teleport available, and with the reset coming through, will be buying a lot more time, right? Remember that Alorum, because they are committing to being here, are not going to be on the other side of the map. Tony Top will be able to impact this inhibitor turret again. Oh, there's a teleport.
Oh, here we go. Teleport gonna come out of Tony, and this is horrible for Team Fish Taco, because Tony can pop you on a skewer and make you into kebabs, running after member. Alorum has nowhere to go. Levitate will take him down, and Tony doing his way with the rest of Team Fish Taco, taking a big old chomp right there. Go golden. It's a trophy and a double kill for Sudsy.
Wow, where was this playing last game, Tony? That's what we were looking for on the Kennen, but now we do it on the Fiora. That's going to be several objectives going over as well as Snow. Going to be A-okay as the teleport comes through as Robbie goes down.
Oh, Robbie put down the ultimate, gave himself a false sense of security, and it gets punished outright by Team Tony Top. Now it's not just 1 turret, it's 2 turrets getting taken down. All the inners falling by the wayside.
A fantastic play coming through from Tony Top. Coming through with the teleport into the mid lane, finds their way instantly over to red with nothing left to do. This is just a complete rout, right? And I have to borrow what Bolulu told me in these kind of situations. At this point, you don't really play for, you know, trying to find the maximum damage. You just try and kill as many people as possible. They recognize that Robbie has already got themselves out, but Robbie comes on back in. Let's see, like, maybe we can do something about Snow, but nope. Didn't respect the fact that the Rift Herald was already despawning. There's nowhere else for them to go except for mid.
6.3k now the lead for Team Tony Top as they start to take over. And look where a lot of that gold is headed. Sudsy 4-0-1 right now on Sazir. 2 items already completed. Does have about a K difference to his opponent in Robbie Bob. Same thing over in the bot lane between Levitate and Red.
Ooh. Yeah. Red takes a ton of damage there as well. Now, last game we saw that Team Fish Taco was able to kind of find their way back into the game by consistently going over to the Baron and baiting fights, but now it's going to be Team Tony Top is going to be starting that one up, and Alorum has a teleport, whereas Tony does not, but Red is half HP.
Team Tony Top is like, do you remember this play? Come on, come get it. Got the hands and they're ready. Now teleport coming out from Alorum, wants to bring the call to Forge God. They're buying time right now. Dardoch yet to hop in. Alorum gonna back out as the ultimate from Fiora does land onto him. And here comes Call to Forge God, looking for the knockup. Lands onto 2. Dardoch goes over the wall, but the Baron is not low enough. Has to flash back over, and this should be Baron going over unless we can get a flag and strike. No, Wallflower will secure it, and Tony Top leads the charge. Onto Robbie Bob, onto the rest of Team Fish Taco.
Oh my God.
He'll take down 1. It is an absolute slaughter. A triple kill found by Levitate, all led by Tony Top.
Oh my God, Tony is so fed, Eric. He is so strong, and this one looks to be over so much faster than our first game. Team Tony Top already coming through. Tony being the big hero, but Levitate's the one who walks away with the triple kill, and they're looking to end the game only 22 minutes in.
Walking right into the base. They got Baron, empowered minions. 20 seconds before Robbie Bob comes up.
Just 2 inhibs.
Might not be base ending, but it still is devastating. They'll take down 2 inhibitors at the 22-minute mark and then take their way out.
Yeah, and there's another dragon to fight for as well. As Dardoch looking to try and find their way onto Sudsy, not going to find it. But if they can chase some people around, maybe that's an opportunity for Team Fish Taco to try and pick up another dragon for themselves. Daption moving their way over, but I got bad news for you, Daption. You are not going to solo contest this dragon.
And Sudsy's still staying, not even taking the recall. I can imagine how much gold is in his pocket right now. It's 2 items completed. It's going to be a big, juicy third one with enough time as Dragon gets taken away for Team Tony Top.
Yeah, and that's a second Mountain Dragon as well. Sudsy will be able to get the back off after that. They've already gotten what they really needed to, given the fact that they did already get 2 inhibitors off of that Baron. I mean, they already got everything that they could possibly ask for off of a single Baron buff. Now they're trying to see if they can get all 3 inhibs. What do you have, Tony? Oh, Asterix? Hullbreaker?
Still waiting.
Hullbreaker!
Sudsy just refused to take that recall. He's probably saving up for just the outright
I was waiting for the
purchase.
teleport.
Yeah, that's a teleport available, so we should see that recall coming out in that third item to be bought by Sudsy with enough time, unless they just get the end right
Tony.
here. Oh, Tony Top able to sidestep the flag and drag, but that leaves the inhibitor exposed for Team Fish Taco, and Team Tony Top are happy to take that one away.
Oh, one more Rocky would do it. Levitate. Here comes the Cataclysm.
You are going to get that bouncy house going. No, it deflates. Finally able to get the pop-up, but it's not enough because your damage dealers are falling. The last one that remains is Daption and Tony Top. Man, they might have fallen for that game number 1, but what a statement to come back in game number 2 with the pentakill.
Wow, what a turnaround from Team Tony Top. It feels as though Tony's so much more comfortable on the Fiora than on the cannon. The ways to move around the rest of the fight, and they give over so much right there. Feels as though Team Fish Taco just got blown out of the water across the board. Levitate and Snow 2 able to come on back in the bottom side with so much more strength there as well. Finds their way to an even series.
I was not just looking at that banner right there, seeing Tony's face once again. Hey man, it's got to feel good being able to even this up, but now it takes us just down to a best of 3 to get that spot into the NACL. We're going to throw it to a short break. When we return, we'll have Mazel once again for our Rally Cry halftime.